Hi everyone, Happy New Year. It's Claire Maxfield here, and we're into the second week of January in 2022. My God, who would have thought of the last few years we've had? And it got me to thinking as I was preparing for my first video for this year about what I'd talk about. And I realised especially the last few weeks, I've realised I've learned 3 big lessons from COVID. One maybe not so big, but 2 were really quite huge. And I thought I'd share them with you to see if they, at least 2 of them, resonate with you or not, and maybe give you something to think about and something to move forward with as we're moving into this new fabulous year. Whatever it's going to bring, who knows what that's going to be. So I just wanted to let you know I'm going to start doing regular videos, at least once a month, fingers crossed, once a week, but let's see what happens with work. And just sharing with you some styling tips, colour tips, and tips to help you move forward with your career, your image, your life. So let me start sharing with you my 3 lessons from COVID. Okay, the first one, probably not the biggest. In fact, I can pretty well assure you, for many of you, you're going to go, no change for me. Because of the last 2 years and working from home, which many of you know I've been doing since 2002, I've always run my image consultancy from home, which has been an absolute blessing. But I was going out regularly. I was seeing clients in the city. I was doing a lot of corporate workshops, training, traveling. So I had my wardrobe full of heels and I was teeter-tottering all around Australia and the world. It was pretty good. Well, that all stopped 2 years ago, but I didn't stop working from home. But what I did find over time, surely but slowly, I've realised now 2 years later, I wear flats every day. I have a wardrobe full of heels and they're just sitting there. In fact, I went shopping this week to try and find shoes, flat shoes that I liked that would work with my feet. That in itself was a dilemma, but I got there in the end. So for some of you, you're going, well, Claire, I always wear flats. And for the blokes out there, best you might do might be a Cuban heel. So that probably won't be a biggie for you. But the second 2 were the lessons I learned from when I got COVID. And they came really out of the blue, just as it did. I'm sure none of us sort of go out and go, hello, COVID, where can I pick you up? I need eggs, bread, and let's do COVID this week because it kind of works with my time frame. As I've heard many of my friends say, they go, I'm not going out this week. I can't risk getting sick and having to go into isolation. Well, mine, and let's start with the first one, was the fear around it. I don't know how many of you were like me, sort of going, I don't want to get it, I don't want to get it. I, second, most importantly, did not want to get it because I did not want to be the one to give it to my mother, because I spend a lot of time with her and care for her, and I did not want to be that person. But also, I didn't want to get it. We'd heard all the stories, and, there is a percentage of people that react really, really badly to it, and then you get the others that go, oh, I had a sniffle. But anyway, I didn't want to go there. Well, it came to me, and happy to say, it's taken 3 weeks for my throat to stop hurting, and I no longer feel the effects of like having a flu and being exhausted, and I'm back to feeling myself. But more importantly, I've realised I don't have that layer of fear hanging over me anymore. Now, I've got 2 schools of thought out there. Some people are saying, oh, don't worry, you'll catch it again. And others are saying, well, now you've had it, you've got the antibodies, you won't. I really don't know. What I do know, though, is for me, it was a cold. But what I wasn't aware of was how fearful I had become of so much of my life and moving forward and of what might happen. So that was a huge lesson. All of a sudden going, you know what, Cleve, you don't have to be afraid. Yes, you don't know what's around the corner, but just keep doing what you do and embrace it, because, you know, it might be bad, it might be good. And, you know, a few things have happened of late. Some have been great. Some have been quite frightening. That's a whole other story that I'm not going into today. But you cope with it. You move on with it. So I don't know if anyone out there is sitting there thinking, I'm too afraid to go out. I'm too afraid to move because of COVID. Yes, be careful. Be sensible. Don't go throwing yourself into situations that can be literally alive with it, unless you've got the time to deal with it, or you definitely want to pick it up. So that was my second thing. So far it's like, I don't need to wear heels anymore. And those that know me a long time will go, okay, Claire, we only ever saw you in heels, probably because I do have really short legs. But I'm embracing my shortness now, and I'm letting go of the fear. But the third one, which is one which shouldn't have surprised me, is the power of goal setting, the power of putting something out there and hoping, praying, believing it would happen. So I want to share with you my first experience of this. So see this little clock here. When I was 19 and I was backpacking around Europe, as many Australians do, we used to. We would tend to take off when we were young and be gone for 2, 3, 6 months. Australians, because we're so far for everywhere, we just tend to take off. When I was in Rome, I took this photo. You go, what's this photo? And the back on the photo says a cute shop in Rome, 74. But if you look down here in the photo, you will see the reason I took it. See this clock here? Because I saw these clocks in the window. There was a few of them. There was this one and another couple up here. And I fell in love with them. But I was backpacking. Can you imagine traveling with something like that in a backpack? No. When I bought my big block of Toblerone when I was in Switzerland, I posted that sucker home. I think the postage cost more than the chocolate. But anyway, because I didn't have room in my backpack. Without realising it, I'd set the intention that I wanted this clock. Not only did I go, I love it, I took a photo of it to bring home. Who takes a photo of a shop window when they're travelling? Yes, that is, if anyone's looking, that is 19-year-old me in the background with my very big blonde perm at the time. So I came home. I was doing modelling and promotions at the time. And one of my second or third jobs after I'd been home was at a trade fair. Guess what? Someone brought in the clocks. Guess what I got talking to them? They sold it to me for cost. So not only did I get it, I got it at a really good price. So that is the power of intention. And you're thinking, what has that got to do with COVID? Over my holidays, I was going up to Sydney, stay with a very, very dear friend. And I'd actually said to many of my friends, do you know what? It would really work out well if I got COVID while I was in Sydney. I could stay there. I was only meant to go first time for a week. I packed enough for 3 weeks, even though I was meant to go for a week, because he was coming back to pick up another family member to go away on holiday. So the intention was never, I was meant to be there longer. But I thought, wouldn't it be great if I got COVID, I could be in Sydney, I don't have to be here and risk mum getting it, because that has been part of my layer of fear all this time. And sure enough, I kind of think I may have picked it up here. I'm not so sure based on time frame. I still haven't worked out where I got it from. But within 2 days of being in Sydney, throat of razor blades, feeling ordinary, thank goodness I had some rat tests, did one, bang, those lines came up big, bold and bright. I had COVID. I had what I'd set out to get. Not that I had set out to get it, but it was sort of like, well, you know what? If that happens, it would work. So yes, it did really put a dampener on my holiday, my New Year's celebrations. We weren't allowed to leave the apartment. We weren't allowed to go anywhere. But, and I really should have thought that out a bit better, I did manage to catch it, get over it, and not risk my mother getting it. So, the message to you is, with the right goal, and a goal you believe in, you really can do anything. So, we're in the second week of January, into the third. I think it's the 15th today. Someone will tell me if it's not. What do you got? What goals do you have for this year? What do you want to create? What do you want to do differently? I know for myself, I'm going to be doing differently. I'm going to look at what I'm doing, and anything that is not beneficial to my business and to my life, to both my private life, my business life, I'm going to stop. I'm only going to spend time on things that give me joy, things that benefit my business, and things that benefit my life. So it's going to be, in the next couple of weeks, an overhaul of my wardrobe. No, I'm not getting rid of those high heels yet. An overhaul of my services. What am I going to keep doing? What am I going to stop doing? And an overhaul of what's important to me. So, if you get a chance this weekend or whenever after you've watched this video, sit down. What can you overhaul? And what goals can you get in place? Is there something about your style you want to change? If there is, give me a call. I can help. Is there something about your business you want to create? If you need a hand planning those goals and getting them in place, give me a call. I can help. And if there are irrational fears clouding your thoughts, stopping you from moving forward, let me help you. Because it's amazing what you can do when you set your mind to it and you make a plan to do things differently and do things better and to have your best year yet. So who knows what is going to happen around us, borders, travel, life, business. But you can at least choose how you react to it, how it makes you feel. And if I can give you a hand with any of that, I'd love to help. So here's to a fabulous, fabulous 2022. Let's make it your best year yet, because I know I'm going to. I'm Claire Maxfield. I'll talk to you again soon. Bye for now.